Hi, I'm Tia from London, and I just wanted to say thank you to scicomm for giving me this opportunity on sharing some information on their platform. The knowledge on eclipses is not new. I'm just trying to revisit the topic to strengthen the understanding on solar and lunar eclipses. This year has brought many unfortunate events, but 2020 has also brought some really exciting celestial activities. In this video, I'll be talking about solar and lunar activities or celestial activities taking place in June. Thank you once again, scicomm. Hi guys, it's Tia, back with my third episode. Today, I wish to draw your attention to two major events happening in the month of June. So much has happened in the skies during this lockdown. Yes, we've all been inside, but skies are ever changing and nothing ever stops in this amazing universe. It is dynamic. We have been blessed to witness many of these awesome celestial activities during the past few months. Recently, I have been enjoying stargazing, like many of us during this lockdown situation, I'm sure. My parents grew up in India. They've told me their stories about growing up there and how they used to always wait for the summer holidays so they were able to reunite with their cousins, sleeping outdoors on the verandas and rooftops. And what did you think they did? That's right, they stargazed. They had competitions and played games about seeing the first constellation or being able to count the most shooting stars before gradually drifting off to sleep with a cool summer breeze. Oh, what a fun way to end your Friday night. So incredible. And some of you are so lucky if you still get the chance to do such activities. To experience this, we made a deliberate effort to go camping outside in our back garden. We set up tents and pillows and blankets. Got the opportunity to watch the clear night skies after a fun outdoor cinema before gradually drifting off to sleep. A couple of days later, on the 4th of May, we woke up at 3 a.m. to see the ETA Aquarids meteor showers, as the spectacular light showers were visible from the naked eye. The skies were super clear, which generally doesn't happen. The UK normally experiences a blanket of clouds, so clear skies aren't very common. The meteor showers were like flashes of light which looked a bit like sparks in the night sky. I also saw the Big Dipper, or if you want to call it, the Saptrishi, or the Seven Wise Sages, really clearly, which was amazing. Dipper is an easily spotted constellation in the sky. The last two stars in this dipper, or the spoon, are pointing to the North Star. So, even if you're like me and you're not an early riser, try and make an effort to wake up once in the early hours to enjoy the beauty of the night sky. If you're fascinated by the sunset, you'll be awed by the beautiful rising sun and the colour changing in the sky. It was awesome to wake up in the middle of the night and experience these amazing events. The 7th of May. All around the world, people have witnessed the fourth and last supermoon of 2020 on the 7th of May. I did catch a glimpse of it too. All around the world, people have shared spectacular images of this natural phenomenon. Then, on the 16th of May, we woke up at around twilight to see the newly discovered comet Swan that is still soaring around the Earth towards the Sun, an average distance of 53 million miles. Comet Swan has a beautiful 11-mile long green tail that you can see behind it, but as it gets closer and closer to the Sun, it slowly evaporates, so you might not be able to see it. Unfortunately, we weren't lucky enough to see the Comet Swan, as it was only visible 10 degrees above the horizon, and living in the city with houses and trees around us, we didn't have a great advantage. If you were lucky enough to live by the seaside, you might have been able to see it. On that note though, we were able to see one of the planets as it shone big and bright like a star, but unfortunately we weren't sure which one it was. Well, That shouldn't disappoint us, because today I'm here to discuss the amazing celestial events that you'll be able to experience and enjoy. You need a small telescope or binoculars with you, and a hope for clear skies. We live on planet Earth, and all the natural events continue to happen around us. Lockdown can't stop it. We are part of this huge universe, and the universe never stops. I have discussed with you what's happened so far, but now let's move on to the future events. Today's topic is about eclipses, different types of eclipses, and why I'm so excited about them. I'm very excited because, weather permitting, people from most locations around the planet will be able to catch a glimpse of at least one lunar eclipse. The first lunar eclipse was from the 10th to 11th of January 2020, and the next three are the 5th to 6th of June, 4th to 5th of July, and the 29th to 30th of November. Eclipses always come hand in hand. A solar eclipse always occurs 2 weeks before or after a lunar eclipse. There are only 2 eclipses in a row, but other times there are 3 eclipses during the eclipse season. So, similarly, the first solar eclipse will happen on the longest day, 21st of June, and then on the 14th of December 2020. According to NASA, 2 to 5 solar eclipses happen each year, but lunar eclipses are less frequent. To understand these a little better, let's start from what is an eclipse? Astronomers call this a syzygy, coming from the Greek words syzygia, meaning to be yoked together or conjoined. The word eclipse also has its roots from ancient Greek, from the word eclipsis, meaning to fail or to abandon. Eclipse occurs when a celestial object in space comes between another object and its source of light, in this case, the sun. As you may already know, the moon is constantly orbiting the Earth, while the Earth is constantly orbiting the sun at the same time. This causes changes in how much of the moon is seen from Earth and how much of the sun reflects on the moon. When there's a solar or lunar eclipse, it is only visible for observers in certain parts of the Earth. So now let's talk about the lunar eclipse, as this is the next event I'm referring to. It's going to take place on the 4th to 5th of June this year, 2020. The nature of a lunar eclipse is different than that of a sun. No celestial body can come between the Earth and the moon, as the moon is a satellite of our planet. Lunar means relating to the moon, so lunar eclipse must mean an eclipse of the moon. Remember that an eclipse is when an object in space passes through a shadow. In a lunar eclipse, the light from the sun, which is being reflected on the moon, is also being blocked by the Earth. In other words, the moon is right in the shadow of the Earth. A lunar eclipse only happens during a full moon and in 3 different types: a total lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, and a penumbral lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse. The moon does not have any light on it of its own. It only shines because the sunlight reflects on its surface. During a total lunar eclipse, the Earth moves between the sun and the moon, cutting off the moon's light supply. When this happens, the moon's surface takes on a reddish glow instead of going completely dark. Even though the Earth blocks the sunlight, a small amount of light still reflects on the moon, which causes a reddish sort of glow. This event can be quite striking due to the vibrant red colour during this phase. Because of the striking red colour, people refer the total lunar eclipse to blood moons. The reason the moon takes on a reddish glow during totality is because of a phenomenon called the Rayleigh scattering. It is the same phenomenon that causes the colours of a sunrise or a sunset, or makes the sky look blue. But that's a topic for another time. Throughout history, the total lunar eclipses have brought awe and fear, especially as people didn't know what the blood moon was meant by then, and blamed it on suspicions such as gods and that. Penumbral lunar eclipse. A penumbral lunar eclipse takes place when the moon moves through the Earth's faint outer shadow. This type of lunar eclipse is often mistaken for a normal full moon. The next penumbral lunar eclipse will be happening from the 4th to 5th of June and will be visible from parts of Europe, Africa, Asia and Australia. Unfortunately, this is the most type of boring eclipse, as the moon is only in the Earth's outer shadow. If you're not an experienced stargazer, you most likely won't see the effect, where the Earth subtly shades a part of the moon. As the Earth's outer shadow is so faint, you most likely won't notice anything unless the moon has slid about halfway in. A fun fact is that all 4 lunar eclipses this year is a penumbral lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse. These events are easy to see even with the unaided eye. Some eclipses are just partial. A partial lunar eclipse happens when the Earth moves in between the Sun and the Moon, but they do not form a straight line in space. When that happens, the Moon's surface is covered in the darkest central part of the Earth's shadow, called the umbra. The other side of the Moon is covered with the Earth's outer shadow, called the penumbra. Now, you may be wondering, how do you watch a lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipses are among the easiest sky watching events to observe. Simply go out, look up and enjoy. You don't need telescopes or binoculars or any other special equipment. However, using a telescope or binoculars will bring out the finer details in the lunar surface. Moon watching is as interesting as during an eclipse as any time. Plan for the event. Eclipses can take a couple of hours to unfold, so grab some snacks, blankets and just enjoy. Happy lunar watching! Now it's time to understand solar eclipses. Solar eclipses can occur when the moon goes in between the Earth and the Sun and they all form a straight line in space. On the other hand, a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth casts a shadow on the full moon. If a planet comes between the Earth and the Sun, it will appear as a black dot on the Sun. This is called a planet transit. There are between 2 and 5 solar eclipses each year. There are 3 types of solar eclipses: total, partial and annular. Also a rare hybrid that is a mix of the total eclipse and the annular eclipse. Let's look at these types in a little more detail. Total solar eclipse. The solar eclipse happening on the 14th of December 2020 is a total solar eclipse. A total solar eclipse occurs when the moon completely covers the Sun, as seen from Earth. Totality during such an eclipse can only be seen from a narrow area, which looks quite like a belt. Areas outside this track are only able to see a partial formation of the Sun. Now remember, looking at a solar eclipse without any protective eyewear can severely damage your eyes. To keep your eyes safe during a solar eclipse, you can wear sunglasses or project an image of the eclipsed Sun using a DIY pinhole projector. Partial solar eclipse. A partial solar eclipse happens when the moon only partially covers the disk of the Sun. Annular solar eclipse. An annular solar eclipse occurs when the moon looks smaller than the Sun. The moon passes through the central solar disk of the Sun and only a small ring or annulus of sunlight is visible. Solar eclipse on the 21st of June, the longest day of the year, is an annual solar eclipse. This annular solar eclipse will be visible from these countries: Weather permitting, the people in these countries will be able to see the characteristic ring of fire. Hybrid solar eclipse. A hybrid solar eclipse happens when an annular solar eclipse changes to a total solar eclipse and vice versa along its path. Now that we know about the two eclipses that we can see from Earth, solar, lunar, and about eclipses in general, and the forthcoming dates of the eclipses, it's time to move on to a really fun quiz. Let's go! Quiz time! Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys 10 questions and try and answer them at home after watching the rest of the video. Write them down in a notebook and you can see the answers at the end. Comment down below how many you got right. Good luck! Question 1. What is a solar eclipse? So it's a multiple choice. I'm going to give you a couple of answers and pick between one. A. When the moon passes in front of the sun. B. When the earth casts a shadow on the moon. C. When the sun is blocked by another planet. D. All of the above. E. None of the above. Moving on to question 2. What do we call the area of a solar eclipse where only a portion of the moon is in front of the sun? A. The umbra. B. The antumbra. Or C. The penumbra. Question 3. What do we call the area of a solar eclipse where the moon covers the sun but the outline of the sun can still be seen? A. The umbra. B. The antumbra. Or C. The penumbra. Question 4. What do we call the area of a solar eclipse where the moon completely covers the sun? A. The umbra. B. The antumbra. Or C. The penumbra. Question 5. What type of solar eclipse occurs when only a portion of the sun is blocked by the moon? A. A total eclipse. B. A lunar eclipse. C. A special eclipse. D. An annular eclipse. Or E. A partial eclipse. Great job, guys. We're halfway through. Question 6. What type of solar eclipse occurs when the sun is completely covered by the moon? A. A total eclipse. B. A lunar eclipse. C. A special eclipse. D. An annular eclipse. Or E. A partial eclipse. Time's ticking. Question 7. What is a lunar eclipse? A. When the moon passes in front of the sun. B. When the earth casts a shadow on the moon. C. When the sun is blocked by another planet. D. All of the above. Or E. None of the above. Almost finished. Question 8. What colour will the moon sometimes appear during a lunar eclipse? A. Green. B. Blue. C. Yellow. D. Red. Or E. Purple. 9. Around how long can a solar eclipse last? A. 1.5 minutes. B. 7.5 minutes. C. 30 minutes. D. 1.5 hours. Or E. 7.5 hours. Okay, so this is a true or false question. True or false? Looking directly at the sun during a solar eclipse can damage your eyes. A. True. Or B. False. Okay, great job. That's the end of the quiz. Now here's the answers. The answer for question 1 is A, when the moon passes in front of the sun. The answer for question 2 is C, the penumbra. Answer for question 3 is B, the antumbra. Answer for question number 4, A, the umbra. Answer for question number 5, partial eclipse. Answer for question number 6, a total eclipse. Answer for question 7, a B, when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. Answer for question 8, D, red. Answer for question 9, B, 7.5 minutes. And answer for question 10, A, true. Let me know what you've got down in the comments below. Bye!